And make sure that you follow at 94THELINK on Instagram. Alright, 94.7 the link.
Unique Soundz.
Check. Mic check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yep. Yep.
Good energy, yo.
Hey man, hey, you guys come over here, man, real quick, man. Man, I can't believe this.
Believe what?
Yeah,
Big in
Man.
this lifetime, boy.
Let me see.
You safe. This one on?
Yeah,
Check.
you on. I gotta see, make sure that Brandon.
Mm-hmm.
Check.
Yeah, this one good.
Good man.
Yowdy.
Hey man, how has it been, bros?
Man.
Good. fresh off a traveling, boy.
Yeah.
And it's tiring.
For real.
As good as it is,
Uh-huh.
and blessing as it is to have the opportunities, it's very tiring at
Man,
sometimes.
I saw you guys shutting down Miami Carnival, man. That's crazy, bro.
Of course, this is the 5th year that we're in Miami.
Whoa.
Yeah.
5th, yeah.
And I know you guys been traveling not just Miami,
Mhm.
New York City,
Yep.
these different other countries. So when last have you guys been to Guyana?
When the passport get renewed, we outside.
Okay.
No, the last time that we actually went was when we were really small. We went to Guyana in 2001 time. We only went one time.
One time.
One time.
Just once.
Wow.
Yep.
So, Unique Soundz. How long the foundation been around in Atlanta?
Well, me and Brandon, the sound based in Atlanta, so a lot of people don't know, but me and Brandon, born and raised in New York, in Queens.
Mhm.
And then we moved here in 2005. So me and Brandon was like literally turning 10 the same month that we moved. So like 9 going on 10. So we've been here now 17 years.
Mhm.
So in 2009, when me and Brandon was 13, that was when we started the sound. Because back then it wasn't like a whole bunch of people DJing and stuff. It was more so like remixing type of production, intro edits, those things. So that's how we started the sound. And then 2-3 years later, we was like, man, well, we know how to beat match songs, how to put rhythms and stuff together as we make it remixes. So we was like, well, we might as well start live DJing. So that's how the sound started.
So, which one even, try to plan Unique Soundz together? Who came up with the idea?
It was actually me and one of our older cousins. He doesn't do music anymore, but big up to my cousin Mark. That's my real first cousin too. So Mark, me, and Brandon actually came together, and we were doing it because nobody in our family does anything regarding music. No instruments. We don't have no singers, no producers. It's literally just me and Brandon now that my cousin stopped. So
I noticed you guys don't just do DJing, you also produce music, cut dubs.
yeah.
So
of course.
how does the producing follows along with the DJing?
Well, right now, me and Brandon don't do more of the producing and the editing and stuff. It's more so Navi. So that's the younger Unique Soundz member, and he lives in South Florida. So he's there, and he's the one that mainly handles that because he does production is his thing.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
production is definitely his thing. So he does that now, but how it files in together, like I said, it's just it goes hand in hand. So when me and Brandon even started, we was just like, because we have the talent to put the songs together, we know it sounds good, and then the reaction, because back then there was no SoundCloud and stuff.
It wasn't no SoundCloud.
Yeah, and even like Facebook, you couldn't post videos. There was no Snapchat. There was other. Me and Ren had at that time was what Reverb Nation and Acid Planet.
Right.
That was it. So this is way before any of these platforms even now existed.
I know you guys. I saw the Rico Vibe interview with you guys. I noticed you guys said that you guys was even big before those other platforms was around.
Yeah, because what we used to do is way before like the streaming now of Instagram and Twitch and Facebook Live and all these things. There was a site that most of I can't speak for the whole Caribbean, but I know a lot of DJs at the time used to use it, and it was called livestream.com. So shout out to everybody from back in the day that used to go live on there. You used to try to expose your talent to different demographics and other crowds, and that is actually how we got known. We actually got known from remixes.
Oh, remixes.
Right, and then we used to, when we started DJing, we would do live streams, and then eventually we would build. So that's actually how we started our following. We were actually known within the Guyanese community before we were big out here. So in other words, we kind of translated the following over. Once everything fell into place and the opportunities came to fruition, everything meshed together so perfectly, and it's like, okay, our followers from out of town, which our biggest fan base was actually in Queens at home. And it's funny because even though we lived in Atlanta, everybody from home was still so close. Still is to this day. And all that did is carry it over. So a lot of people had saw like, okay, we do have out of town following as well already.
That's good. I really like that. Okay, based on the unique sounds, how did the Mad Color thing started?
Oh, that's easy. So we shout out to Sesame, Nyasha, and Mr. Winston and the whole team over there. It was actually 2015. We played in an event space here called CJ's Hideaway. So big up to everybody in Atlanta on the east side in the Caribbean scene who knows about those histories and those
Real
clubs.
classic venue.
Right, those are what we would classify as historical venues on the east side Caribbean community. A lot of big events happen there, and the space is not big, it's small. But anyway, back to the point. Sesame had booked us for a band launch, or a matter of fact, they booked One Drop, and it said One Drop and Friends. So Lotus at the time, you know how Lotus is.
I know how Lotus is.
Shout out to Lotus from One Drop. He's never been afraid to give talent an opportunity to shine. And that day is what he did. He literally put in a group chat, he said, it says One Drop and Friends, everybody that wants to come and spin this band launch is going to be good. People are going to be here. Come and showcase your talent. This is your time now to put your talent in front of a real crowd. And we went and we literally played like 4 hours. I played one, Cuts played one, because he was part of Unique at the time, and Alex played one. And from there, every mass band started calling, because imagine a sound you've never heard of, and we're playing good soca, no repeats for 4 hours straight. They couldn't believe it. So we ended up getting calls to play for a week kind of thing.
And remember, wait, we gotta enunciate on one part though. You gotta remember, in 2015, that was so when the social media, like people started getting into Snapchat and Instagram. So even then, parties was nice. People wasn't coming out videoing everything. Like people were literally coming out with the intent to listen and pay attention and have a good time. So that helped with it too.
Yep, so like at that band launch, a lot of people ended up scouting us after, and the 2 bands that we ended up going with. We actually went with 2 bands that year. Alex and Maharaj, former member of Unique Soundz, they actually ended up playing for Mad Flavor the Movement, so shout out to Kevin and the family. And me and Cuts actually played for Mad Colors. And that was also, if I'm not mistaken, Alex can correct me if I'm wrong, that was the first year of our 6-peat winning streak as the #1 band in Atlanta. Not only for being the biggest band in Atlanta Carnival history, but also winning in terms of appearance, presentation, crowd reaction, everybody being in sections when we're crossing the stages, just everything. And it was just a blessing, and from there, that's how we formed that relationship with them. And they're family oriented as us. And nothing else needed to happen.
Exactly.
I saw that when you guys brought Mad Colors went on the Fresh Station.
Right.
And I saw that not just that, bro, like you guys following was so big. I was like, Fresh Station, it wasn't launched for a long time. I ain't see a whole year now, it was not even consistent. As soon as that Mad Colors, I see he did an interview with Mad Colors, and I was like, everybody on the Facebook Live. That's crazy.
Everybody always want to, you know how it goes, man. When you're the biggest, or you have that spotlight, or you have that #1 title, everybody gonna always want to tune in to see what is going on, what you gotta say. So that's why Mad Colors get that reaction, because everybody knows what it is when it comes to Atlanta Carnival, and you hear the name Mad Colors. I mean, at this point, it's kind of it doesn't need an explanation. We're the biggest band this state has ever seen in the history of Carnival being in this state.
Period. And that's for either carnival. No disrespect to anybody. That was not shots.
No, these are facts. These are facts. You can go pull them. The judges when we're crossing the state, they have the numbers report. You can go and check them. Go meet with your carnival leaders to see if they'll give you that paperwork. But it's there. These are documented facts.
You're right, and I be seeing it for myself, bro. I mean, everybody catch feelings in the industry. That's them.
You know how it goes, man. Here, like I said, anytime you got a little bit of spotlight on you, somebody gonna try to inquire whether it's good or bad.
I know how it is. We all know how it is.
Of course.
Cultural industry. It is what it is. Hey, so how long you guys been DJing?
So we started, like I said, we started Unique Soundz in 2009. So I want to say we started DJing like 2 years later. Like 3 years later, in like 2012. Because what we would do is there's like 5 people that we always credit. Like every time somebody asks us our story, I gotta remember to mention that. Big up Popo, Ishri, big up Syringa Hotness, Cuts, as y'all know, DJ Cuts, he's still around, still playing music on the Atlanta scene. Big up our brother DJ Maharaj too, and Varen Dreamcatcher Sound. So we used to go to like little private events and stuff, and they were the ones who were DJing, and they used to tell us the same thing. What I'm saying, they used to say, you know, y'all have it for the remixing. You know how to get the beats on. You know how to which beats go, match the keys, all kind of stuff, right? So like it's the same thing as DJing. You're just doing it live. That's the only difference. So, you know, they were the ones that kind of like pushed us to do it. So like in 2012, 13ish, that's when we started like playing at like, you know, community events, little birthday parties, sweet 16s, like just taking little private bookings. And then, you know, from that is when we used to do our live streams too on the side. But the live streams and YouTubes and stuff is what really got us noticed to get booked on the scene.
Right.
I see you guys have a big relationship with One Drop Soundz.
Of course.
It's okay if you know.
Yeah, so I'll actually go into detail and tell you the story. I'll make it short, but literally, we have met Lotus maybe 1 or 2 times prior to us having an actual sit down conversation as we're having now. And I remember when me and Alex used to go on the east side just to do groceries. Shout out to Georgetown Marketplace and the family. We used to just go do groceries. And you know how it is on the east side. When you go to the restaurants and stuff like that, they always have flyers of upcoming events.
Our banners hang outside or something.
We were so young at the time. We were maybe 17 or 18. And one of the faces that we just kept seeing was One Drop. And we're like, yo, who are these people? They're on everything. So obviously, as being aspiring DJs, you don't necessarily want to be like someone, but you want to emulate them. You want to be in that spot. So funny enough, as everyone who knows Lotus knows, he always has his ears and eyes to the streets. He knows what is going on. He knows about the upcoming talent. And one day, we had an issue at a prior radio station. Big up to them same way because they did help us with a foundation. And when the issue occurred, you know, we were no longer playing for the radio station, and we weren't necessarily looking for a new home in per se to play on a radio, but Lotus had approached us, and you know, and it was so random. He just texted us one random Saturday morning. He was like, I live here, and I think y'all live close. I ain't gonna say my address or whatever.
Wait. So the time that he texts you guys know each other.
We didn't even have each other's number.
How he got our number.
We don't even know how he got our number.
Okay.
So when he texted us, he was like, "Can I come and meet you guys today?" And it was urgent. So we're like, "Yeah, come and meet with us." And during the course of that conversation, which was like a 2.5, 3 hour conversation, we spoke about everything. He understood where we're coming from. We had the same views, the same visions. Mind you, these are OGs at this point in the Atlanta Caribbean scene. So to even have him in our presence was great, to be noticed by somebody like that. And to his credit, every single thing that he promised Alex and I, and this is in 2015, every single thing that Lotus promised Alex and I came true. Every booking that he promised us, every show that he said he was going to put us on, every person he said he was going to introduce us to, he did it. And for that reason, that is why Alex and I always like to try to mentor and, you know, do things for the youth as well in Atlanta, because we learned that from him.
You know, like how a lot of people always been having that argument, especially like in the music industry as a whole lately, like the OGs ain't passing game down. Atlanta is not that place. When it comes to our West Indian, like DJ Caribbean scene, we've always had people like look out for us and mentor us. Even before it was Lotus, them the first sound to really like tell people, yo, Unique is a bad sound. It's King AP. Big up to Jinx and Randy Fire and the whole team. Like, they literally went around and told people, like, yo, we don't know who them two little coolie boys is, but they can play music.
And their Jinx's exact moniker when he used to introduce us was the youngest in charge at the time.
Yeah, because we were young. That was when we were 17, 18. And there was nobody in our age bracket doing that. Everybody was older, like, you know, like late 20s, early 30s. So we had a big age gap there. So that alone, you know, helped us get, you know, recognized too. But like I was saying, my point is that argument that people been having with the OGs ain't passing game down. Nah, man. Every OG in Atlanta has passed game down. You could call the names from Negus British to Bugsy to Mark Dragon to
Danger Marcus,
John Wayne.
Juggler.
Like, everybody
John
has
Brown.
welcomed me and Brandon with open arms. So we can't never say that. When it comes to the DJ stuff, we never got hate from nobody because we're always real. Anytime somebody, like, even with yourself, you know, big up Shab, big up Bowie, big up everybody.
Tony
anybody that came out recently, everybody knows, like, if y'all hit us up, we're there.
Right.
That's a fact.
And especially you guys coming out, so I was like, before I even hit you guys, I was like, hey, let me try plan something with Unique Soundz.
That's easy, man.
Easy,
And
man.
hit Alex up, see what we're saying.
Mhm.
Boom, we set it up one
Yep.
time. Notice.
Yes, sir.
He wasn't hesitate. He didn't sound
Yeah,
hesitate.
exactly.
He texted me one time. I was like,
Yeah.
whoa.
Because I think to us it's like it's just weird. It's like the game. I don't want to say it was just given to us, but once we got in the doors and people saw that we were serious, because it's one thing too. Is like obviously they're not gonna give us the game that they gave us if they knew we weren't serious about it. Like, because even you know from the time you started, how much DJs you know fell off already.
A lot.
So if
a
they-
lot.
right.
I like even at the time when I started Atlanta, a lot of DJs that been big, they fell off.
Exactly. And it's not to say anything, no hate, no nothing to them, but it's just like if you're not gonna keep being persistent and working hard and staying
keep yourself
dedicated to the thing,
relevant.
exactly.
You know what I
If
mean?
you're
Yeah.
if you're not gonna do the work, do your live shows, do your mixtapes, do something to stay relevant, even if you're not getting booked, then why would they pass that game down? So
Exactly.
seeing that me and Brian work hard, they gave us game, they helped us out.
And I'm glad you guys even went into the radio because, you know, in our generation, people look down on the radio.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? And I saw that you guys even start your own platform.
Yeah, of course, but
Yeah.
even with the starting our own platform thing, it's like you see that that show that we be doing on Thursdays. Versatile Thursdays.
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't even know that. Like now, when they see us, they be like, "That's something we now started, right?" No. So that radio show, we've actually been doing that radio show for over 10 years now. Every Thursday, the same time for 10 years. The only difference
Since
is
2012.
we did it on different platforms.
Platforms,
So, you know, we were on
stations,
ifetradio.net. Big up Alex, big up Kevin in Florida. Every time, you know, they really gave us our first radio show platform was ifetradio.net. And then from there we did live
Magnum.
streams, you know, everything that just kind of came out. Big up Team Magnum every time in New York. Everything that came out, we just tried to, you know, jump on board. Instagram came out, I was on Instagram the first week.
Yeah.
Snapchat, like I said, we just tried to be ahead of everything, you know, just be engaged, because if this is what it's moving to, where people are going to use, we got to be on that. That's
Right.
it.
That's it.
Got to stay relevant.
That's it.
And that's why I like. I mean, you know, when I see a lot of DJs, you know, coming with ideas to do radio, that's what the key is. I mean, you gotta do radio, you gotta juggle in the parties, you gotta do the fets, you gotta do the festivals, anything you see, my boy, bring your ideas to life.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And like I said, it's not gonna come with nobody just gonna give you a handout like that. You know, you gotta work. So
You gotta put in the work, you gotta be outside, you
Yeah.
gotta do what you gotta do, support each other,
Yeah.
network.
that's
you know
why.
what I mean?
That's why even like you, like when we first started meeting you, right? Me and Brandon used to be like, yeah, we doing the thing just like me and Brandon. Like when me and Brandon first came on the scene, and we 17, 18, even though we wasn't getting booked, you know, like how Brandon said, we ran into Lotus them 2 times prior. How you think that happened? We knew about the West Indian scene, so he was like, you know what? Okay, we see in this flyer was like, even though we're not known, let's go out and try to network. Let's see if we can, you know, rub some
Right.
shoulders with the right people or anybody, because at that time we didn't know nobody.
And
We don't
that's-
know who's the right person to talk to. The only thing we saw, like Brandon said, is just the flyers that you're seeing on social media, or when you go to the supermarkets at Golden Cross, they used to have flyers all over. So
Right.
you see in certain people on the same dances, like, okay, well, you gotta rub shoulders with this person, this person, this
Yeah,
person.
rub shoulders with everybody.
Yeah, but even then, when me and Brandon started, like I was saying, we used to go to everybody party and support,
Everybody.
pay at the door, buy our drinks, and it's not. It was just a support thing. Like we wanted to show people that we genuinely supported, because we wanna be involved with our culture in Atlanta. Like we live here.
And the other thing too was in Alex saying that we didn't. Not only did we pay, you know, to go into every one of these events, we didn't do that just to rub shoulders with people. We also did it in the sense to do it in the right way. So it wasn't like somebody was owing us a favor. It was more so that we went about it the right way, and that people respected us for doing that instead of begging a favor or begging that.
And then the fact too that we were so young and thinking like that, so
Right.
they respected it
So
even
people
more.
respected that level of maturity, which is also a game that we try to put on to everybody. Because you know, mind you, Alex and I have been on the scene in Atlanta for going on about 10 years now, nearing it. And with that being said, we were going to dances, bro, for like over 2.5 years without getting proper bookings. 2.5 years consistently.
And that's the type of thing. You
Right,
have to do.
and at that time we were maybe getting 1 booking a month, and we were going out every weekend, even during the week. We were going everywhere to show everybody support, because we said the same thing. The biggest thing is the networking. It's not always up, because the biggest thing too is Once you get your own networking, is the same thing as you just mentioned. Now we have our own platform to do our radio show, which is Twitch. Sometimes if an opportunity is not given to you, make one.
Make your own
Make one.
opportunity.
And that's what some people don't understand. It's sometimes it's just
If the
as
door, if the
simple
door
as
ain't window, if the door ain't open, go and crack the side window.
right.
In the
It's
same
make
way.
an opportunity come in the same way.
that's that's the thing with, you know, what I realize with other some DJs here on the scene. You know what I mean? They are wrong. Some of them they beg. They got beg. They got do it for free. But me, if I ain't getting booked, if I ain't booked for anything, I'm here.
Yeah.
Right.
You
And
know
that's
what I mean?
And you still put it into work,
And you still put it
and
in
that's
work.
the same thing what me and Brandon did, bro. Even when we wasn't there, you know, even though we were still trying to network to be involved in the Atlanta scene, we still doing our radio shows. We still was doing everything. So it's
Right.
not like nothing went on pause. Even up to now, look, we still, you know, everybody know we're booked, we're busy, but at the end of the day, we still making time for our radio shows and stuff, even throughout the week. So, you know, we put it on pause the last 2 weeks ago. We went to Miami, you know.
Yeah, you have to. You have
You
to.
know,
do that
sometimes you gotta miss it a little
yeah.
bit, but yeah, man, we always worked and stayed consistent even to now. So that's one thing when people like when some people like they now follow us on Instagram and stuff, like people be like, dang, they like local famous. I'm like, no, I'm a regular person. The only difference is that we stayed relevant because I keep working so hard.
Right, and especially,
Right.
and they don't know, man. Like, they just don't. I be in here every weekend.
Yeah,
As
bro.
you guys see, even with the last platform, same thing.
Mhm.
It's an game.
And that's how you gotta do it, bro. You just gotta keep working on it. And you know the thing that with our story that I want to tell people, which is our biggest thing, and not to get like sentimental or anything, but it's true. You know, when you want to work hard for something, you have to fully believe in yourself. Don't listen to what anybody's saying, because I remember Pop Smoke said this in an interview. He said when you envision something, nobody can envision that for you. Nobody can tell you what to do because only you can see your vision. Only you know the way you want it to be and how you want it done. And with that being said, you have to be the one to put in the work.
Correct.
And it has to be consistent because for some people are, and we all know some people get very lucky in many aspects of life and they become famous overnight. With many of us in the US, you know, we come for the American dream, or like our families came for the American dream. It doesn't mean that you're not part of the dream. You get what I mean? Like you have to keep working towards it. You're looking for the dream, but what are you doing to get towards it? And that's the thing. That's why they gotta sit there and meds more time. Just keep pushing. I mean, yo, I encourage you all the time.
All the
You
time.
know it, bro. You're on the right path. You're doing the right thing.
Me and
I always give you
Brandon
ratings
was
for that.
literally doing radio shows for like 4 or 5 years before anybody even realized like
Who we
that we
were,
were
yeah.
based in Atlanta, or to even know that in Atlanta we play music. Because like Brandon said, for the Guyanese community, we were more so known in New York, Orlando, Canada, in Guyanese like community. That's about it. So you know, again, you always had that background and that platform and that support base. So when we cross over, people were like, oh yeah, like they like our day one supporters. They know like we work hard to
Yep.
be here. Like, nobody can say I just hurry and come up and you know.
I want to mention somebody. So what do you guys think about overdose?
Oh,
That's
big
my
up
little
those.
bro.
Yo, we got a couple triplets. Shout out to Dr. Isan. Shout out to Sinister from Miami. Shout out to Kevin from Toronto. Milo Miles from Queens. And of course, the Bahamian ambassador.
Nah,
Those?
that's our dog, man. Like those is like, he remind me and Brandon so much of ourselves. Like what
Right.
that kid did, like a lot of people still don't get it. His story literally started just like ours. This man was getting his bookings, doing his radio shows, staying consistent, but over quarantine, because of the fact that everybody had to be in their house, this man capitalized on that, did radio shows, and he invited DJs like Private Ryan, Drea, all the big Rigo, Suave, they all tuning in, like how you could join the live and they playing, so you know he's getting followers or whatever, and he just built his support base like that. But the thing with him again is he worked hard, he stayed consistent. Everybody saw that, so the thing is that he deserved it, and he's a great DJ. Like that man is way
Like,
good.
when certain people come up like that, it's like, you know how they say some people meant for it? He was meant for it. And everybody, it didn't matter who you were. It doesn't matter if you don't like him personally. And by the way, that's not me, because again, that's a little bro. But you know, even if you don't like somebody like that personally, and I tell people this all the time, while people are here, give them their flowers. You do not have to like that kid personally. That kid is a monster. That kid works, he hustles. He had over 20 bookings in 1 week, just like us here in Atlanta. And for those of you who are watching who think that DJ life is fun, it is fun. Until you get the back-to-back bookings, no sleep, no proper eating, no proper drinking
Gotta
water.
download music, organize it, especially like carnival time and all them artist songs them coming out and they dropping. Like, bro, I in the Airbnb last week Friday. This is 4 o'clock in the morning. Juve start at 7. Can't even go to sleep because now artists want to send. Oh yo, this rhythm dropping in 2 weeks, but because it's Juve, we know like blah blah blah. You gotta play it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, even that is like, people don't know the headache that we go through, the long nights organizing music, trying to, you know, put playlists together, then networking with people like you said, you know, we do the dub play thing, so networking with the artists them now. So even all of that stuff we be doing behind the scenes is like, even when people don't see we in an event, we're still doing music stuff.
I want to touch base on that. So how the clashing coming along?
Man, we ain't clashing them. No, because you know the thing, and people always ask us this, so I'll finally give them the answer as we're on the platform. I'll give you all the good stuff.
Go ahead.
So you know, as where the clashing thing is concerned, back in the day, Alex and I, we collected quite a few dubs, as people know. The clashing was always an interest of ours, and once we got our feet wet, you know, as people would say, we realize that it is fun, but there's financially, it's a big risk. You know what I mean? Because first of all, for those of you who don't know, dub plates cost money. And if you have a link with artists and you know you get that connection and that bond with them, you might get things for a discount or potentially even free. But at the same time, it is not something that you would like to dump your money into, because as for someone like me and Alex who are now traveling and trying to
drug some this.
Right. You know, like we're trying to travel as a juggling sound. We're not really on the market of being a clash sound. Now, if someone would like to address us in an event and throw out 2 words, well, now we have things to back it, but now to say that we're going to go into an entire clash competition, no. But tonight we're going into a competition, so shout out to everybody in Atlanta. Come to Domain tonight, we're giving licks.
But yeah, like even with the clashing, like even to enunciate a little bit more on what Brandon said, like even with the dub play thing, people gotta understand this. We started Unique Soundz 2009. Me and Brandon caught our first dub play in 2012.
2013.
Okay, so 2013, right? But even then, we wasn't cutting dub plates heavy. We was cutting 1 dub here. 3 months would pass, you cut another 1 here. 6 months pass, you might be cut 2. It's just over the time, it obviously ends up stacking up. That's the difference. So, but I'm not gonna lie though, there are times I run heavy. Carnival time, y'all know in Atlanta, I've given everybody licks. Don't even try it.
My favorite dub is from you guys is Shensia and Showtime Radio.
Oh, that's Sketel, yeah.
Sketel.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
No, you're good. Yeah. No, but you know what the crazy thing about it is like, and it'd be so funny, you know. Like I remember when we cut the Shen, that was the biggest song that she had. That was it. Ludi was the only song. And then afterwards is when she came.
I'll give you the backstory with that Shensia, right? So even as we talking about like how people don't know the stuff that we go through as DJs like behind the scenes, bro. You know how hard it is to keep up with music when you're not in a place? And like meaning, Shensia was obviously based in Jamaica. I'm not there. We're not listening to no local artists because how do you know? We're not there. We're not on the ground.
You're right.
And it's not like I'm not Jamaican, so I don't have family there to be, you know, like maybe have an ear to the streets and be letting me know something. But as DJs, we still have to find a way to keep up to date, right? So Shen was just one of those artists that I came across her, and I was following Shensia. I tell people this all the time. I was following Shensia on Instagram from she had like 2,000 followers. Not 1 million, wasn't verified, nothing yet. This is when she was still a bartender in events, because a lot of people don't know that. She was a bartender in events before she was an artist. At the time we went to go get that song, it was only one, like I said, Shen only had that one song. So, you know, but even then, how did we know to go and cut that song? And now look at how big of an artist she is. And those are just things that, you know, we hold near and dear to us because of the fact that we work hard. We were keeping up to date with music, even if we're not there. We knew the song was like gonna pop, and we just got it. The link is good, and now Shen is like one of the biggest
thing. And it's great. It's great to see people elevate like that. And if for those of you who like, because we're also on Instagram Live, for those of you guys who know what it is that why we're discussing Shensia. If you guys listened to us just now on the radio and you heard a female shouting "Unique Soundz," that is Shensia.
Yeah, that's like
everybody who wonders. Everybody who wonders who that female is, it's Shensia. Yeah. So shout out to her each and every time, and shout out to the team over at EXO and Romisha and the team as well.
Yeah, man.
Russian,
Every
rich
time.
immigrants, everybody. Shout out to the family.
So what you guys think about Black Platinum Soundz?
Oh, that's
So
the
brothers.
family.
So
That's the
even we got a funny story with Black Platinum.
I
but,
want. I
Nah,
really.
he can't tell that story. So, or he was there, but it wasn't involving him. So, and I'm just gonna give the story, and I'll give the meaning after, right? I remember when I saw Nino, we were at Bright Day Fete at Nico Simone compound on 124, which is right by New Era drive-thru. If you guys know about that history.
Because the venue was not there no more.
Nico's, sorry, it wasn't even Nico Simone. I apologize. It was Don
Don
Janelle,
Mhm.
which is right there by Poppy Shop. So again, if you're on the east side, you know where the drive-thru liquor store is. It's right down the street from there. It's now a kickboxing place, I believe. But anyway, there was a day fete there called Bright. Shout out to Black Eyes Dane and the Insomnia family. We were a Unique Sound was booked. I remember at the end, everybody was playing 30 minutes because everybody played early and everybody played late. And I remember this young selector came up to me, which was Nino, and he had his laptop open and he didn't know me, and he was so quiet, so humble, so it's like you couldn't tell him no. He literally was like, I know you don't know me from anywhere, but I'm an upcoming DJ. I'm really looking for a blind. Can I get 15 minutes out of your slot? And I said, you know what, bro? Go ahead and do it. Me and Cuts was actually about to go play because at the time Alex was in my MC. Cuts was, and me and Cuts used to do the damage. And we say, you know what can it hurt? Just give them an opportunity because at the end we're gonna come back on anyway. So even if they happen to mess up or fail a little bit, we'll catch it on the end back, right? And we'll bring back the vibes of the party. Boy, when I tell you them boys, I went up and surprised everybody.
Wow.
They
Everybody.
shelled.
So our relationship with Platinum from that moment was automatically different than anybody else. So shout out to Kyron, shout out to, of course, rest in peace to my brother, Kamar, every time. But yeah, that's so yo.
Black
Shout out to
Platinum.
Nino, yo, baddest juggler in Atlanta. I'll take back no talk.
Facts. Not taking back that talk. I don't care what argument nobody
Baddest
is.
selector.
Nino is the baddest West Indian Caribbean DJ in Atlanta right now.
I
Juggling, the speed, the selection,
Right.
and you gotta understand when
The timing.
the reason I say that too is because Nino do not juggle from crates.
He types in
Nino
everything.
types in every song he is about to play. So imagine as a DJ what I just said. You are typing in every song you're about to play.
Right.
He's juggling off
Off
the top
his
of his head
brain.
every time.
Right.
Every time. So even to juggle as quick as he does, build the vibe he does, like me and Brandon just said, we could be whatever and have all the notoriety, but it take nothing for me to give Nino his flowers. Nino work hard for that. He's a great DJ. Like he just is. Nah, Nino on fire, man. Platinum, a Black Platinum family, they get the big up every time because, like Brandon said too, our relationship with them was just different. Like we could literally say we were there when y'all
Right.
started. You know what I'm
Because
saying?
basically all of us, even though we bust like a little bit before them, we kind of all bust around the same time.
Yeah.
Right. So that was a
we
great
only
thing.
we only quote unquote bust like when was Bright, like August, and we
Right,
bust
and
the
we
carnival
bust-
prior, which was May,
We bust March.
like March, yeah.
We
so like
bust
a couple
in
months, it
Mad
was in the
Colors
same
March.
year actually, just a couple months apart.
Right.
Yeah.
So what's the future for Unique Sounds?
Everything.
Well, right now, big up Navi, like I said, our remixer in Florida, and part of Unique Sounds is also my cousin Ray and then Max, who be here in Atlanta, and me and Brandon. Max, them and Ray, they just behind the scenes, like, that's what they do. They handle, like, some business stuff and those kind of things. Navi's in the production, but Navi is now, he has a organization basically, and it's called WRO, World Remixing Organization.
I
It's
saw
just like-
that. Yeah.
yeah,
I
so
saw that.
basically what that is like it's a branch off of Unique Sounds too, but it's Navi's own, if that makes sense.
So it's
You know,
under the umbrella.
yeah.
Of Unique
So
Sound.
basically what it is like he's gonna be doing production like you heard. We have production already we're doing official, like how you would go on SoundCloud or YouTube or whatever, you see official intro edit or whatever to this song. Like, it's mostly with soca music, reggae, dance, or like our stuff. So we're reaching out to these artists and we're getting to do the official intro edits and the remixes. So when we release it, it could be released with them too as like, this is the official version, but this is for the DJ version. So like when y'all are playing it, you can mix it in easier, like a little 4-bar, 8-bar loop, whatever the case may be. So that's a little bit of stuff that we get into with the production and the artist side, and we're gonna build rhythms for artists this year. So hopefully this year, fingers crossed, is the year, because we've been planning this one for too long. We're trying to get an official soca rhythm so we can actually release it. So Unique Soundz will actually have a soca
actual rhythm,
like how Travis World and all these other DJs are doing their stuff, and big up to them too, because they're hard workers. That's what we're doing. That's one thing that we got planned going off until the end of the year, going into next year. Then of course, we got our events. Right now all our events, we kind of like space them out seasonally, I like to say, right? Because we have stuck in the 90s, we got Blossom, we got Aloha, we got Carnival Weekend, we're doing a whole bunch of events.
Y'all build a lot of things.
Yeah,
man.
And that's the thing, and even to go back to what you said prior, like just so people could hear this, I don't know who's listening and would like to hear this advice, but even then, when Brandon was saying, if opportunities are not presented to you, make your own. Like I said, if the front door locked, creep in the side or the back window, see if it cracked.
Right.
We started doing our own events. We started Soca on the Drive with Lotus, then we turned it in, and everything elevated, right? So Soca on the Drive started off as a once a month, 100% Soca party. The only genre you hear in there is Soca, that's it. And it was once a month. Because, everything going on, every party you go to you're playing Afrobeat, compa, Spanish, everything. There's not really 100% Soca, so that's what we did. Mm-hmm. And that is what we used to turn into Soca is Life, which was the concert series we was doing at Bliss, because it was basically like, okay, we're doing 100% Soca. People know us for the Soca now, so now why are we waiting only for Memorial Weekend when it's carnival time to bring the artists? Mm-hmm. That don't make sense.
Let's bring them outside.
Because think about it, you're in Miami, you're in New York, you're in Canada, you're all over back home. You get an artist regular. It might be an off weekend and you might still have a big artist or a noticeable artist. We're literally having to wait all the way till May to see a Soca artist. How that makes sense?
Right.
So that is why we also started doing Soca is Life. So Soca is Life, we were doing when was that? What was the time frame? I think it was like every 3-4 months we were doing it.
Yeah, so Soca is Life we were doing quarterly, and then the thing was, not every single time did we bring an artist, but sometimes we would bring like
a big DJ,
a very big DJ, right? So I mean, in terms of the Soca's Life, we are responsible for bringing Moto here the first time in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. Second Star, Nessa Preppy, Pretty, Nyla, and am I missing people? I know one dropped them.
Second Star.
I said that. I know like Lotus them, of course, like because we're a team. Like they
Linky
first, Rock and come in first. And like I said, sometimes it's not always about bringing the biggest artists. Sometimes, and one thing I definitely will say is that a lot of the younger artists deserve their blight too. A lot of the up and coming ones. Like
AJ Star.
Star.
Like with them. It was nice to bring them first, because I remember when we were bringing like Irfan Alves and stuff, this is when he had Overdue, of course. And a lot of people kept forgetting that Irfan has had massive hits throughout the years, like, Come From, he has Eruption, all these songs, and it's like, you guys keep forgetting, so let's remind them that Soca can be prominent in Atlanta, and that's what we did with
But anyways, to get back to his main question, what else do we have done? So, with the events and stuff, we're just gonna keep the events pushing. The next one that we have coming up is
Soca.
No, Dalloween.
My bad.
Yeah, you're good. Dalloween is October 29th. Grand End 6420 Old Hill and Dale Drive. That's where it's gonna be, and it's $1 entry before midnight with your pass. The link is in my bio, Brandon's bio. Search Dalloween ATL on Instagram, and the link is there. So just get your $1 passes and road shoes from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. actually.
I would be there.
Yes. So
you don't have a choice.
That one, yeah. That one gonna be lit. So that's actually is our next event. But the next like big event will be production wise. So when we say like production wise, we're talking about like the deco, the truss, the lighting, the whole line races, everything, like just transformation.
Stuck in the 90s.
Stuck in the 90s. I think that's January 28th. I want to say. Don't quote me on that date, because we just discussed it.
Last Saturday in January.
Last Saturday. Yeah. It's last Saturday in January, but that's when Stuck in the 90s will be, and then after that in April when it warms up again, we'll do Blossom, and
Aloha,
then Aloha is in July.
August, around that time.
And then Lotus actually, I can't release that info yet. There's something else in store, because we feel like, to be honest, between July and then we do our next event all the way in January, is like, that's a big gap. So we have something coming. Don't worry, something in the works.
So I have this other question too. So when you guys do decide to make do events, how does the partnership between one promoter and the next?
So like with us and One Drop, it was just like Bro, honestly
We
speaking,
do everything
it was,
together anyways.
and again, I can't reiterate this enough. A lot of things that you see a lot of people doing in the music industry is as simple as Yowdy and I just having a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
It takes nothing more than that. There's no pen that needs to meet paper. Sometimes your word is your best thing, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And when us and One Drop came together and started, you know, Soca on the Drive,
Mm-hmm.
from there, that was it. Like, we just knew, like, okay, from there we did Soca's Life, and then from there we were like, okay, now we have to start doing our own production. So it was nothing more than a conversation.
But how it works is just like, you know,
Everything's split
normal stuff,
evenly, if that's what they're
everything is split
asking.
evenly. So like, it's
Yeah.
like when it comes to that, it's actually, and we actually have a LLC now. It's ASA, so Atlanta Soca Alliance. You know, that's Unique Sounds, One Drop, Heavy XI, Big Up
Right.
Dwight every time. And we just come together every time we do an event, and every man has their own thing that they basically
Everybody
gotta
has their
handle. Like
tasks.
every event, like one man is in charge of the bar. Like
Somebody
making sure-
somebody gotta get food vendors, somebody gotta get hookah, somebody's in charge of, you know, the deco, somebody's in charge of hiring security, and we gotta get, you know, sound, trussing, deco, all of it. Everybody has their own
department basically.
Right.
So you know when the event is done, you know everything comes together nicely.
right.
As y'all see.
You guys doing everything, and it's like, you know, grasping all this knowledge
Yeah.
about unique songs, from down to being a promoter, DJs, doing your own events, your own starting your own radio show,
Yeah, bro.
your own
Literally.
platform, you know, traveling, all these different things, man, is amazing.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
Give
more
thanks.
more traveling to come next year. Shout out to the promoters.
Yeah, give thanks. God is
Give
good,
thanks,
man.
yo. Yeah, facts, yo.
So when you guys, you know, started the Soundz in 2013, correct?
No, so we started, Unique Sound started in 2009. It's
2000.
13 years this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 2009, you guys decided to have a management at the time, or?
So it was funny, like it was just like at the time when so in March 2015 is when we got the Bly at Mad Colors band launch. And from there, it was like everybody was calling left and right. Everybody was calling left and right. Like they wanted to know who we were. Nobody could get in contact with us because at that time I'm not posting my number on social media. I don't have a manager. So Lotus actually introduced us to Avi, who is currently still our booking manager.
My
And
number in my
still-
bio is not my personal
Right.
number. Contact
So-
my booking manager.
Shout out to Avi. She is still currently managing us, Sound International, which is Star, Chung. Prayers to Chung going out to the family and stuff. We
Big
had
up,
a little accident recently. I hope a speedy recovery, bro. And as well as us and One Drop. So that's actually how we met Avi. And Avi is actually Lotus's first cousin. So she's always been around. She's never been a stranger. But then the topic of her managing us came up again because of Lotus. He said these boys need somebody. They can't just be putting their personal number like that on social media.
It's not
We
even
need
that. It's
somebody
like
to
we just wanted to know, you know, like somebody to look out for us too. Because at the end of the day, you know, we ain't want to be taking a whole bunch of, you know,
And this
BS
is
bookings. Like it doesn't make
Yeah.
sense.
Right.
Like somebody got to be able to filter for us. And then the other thing too is like, it's just somebody to keep up with our schedule. Like Avi keep up to date with it. She knows we're here right now. She knows.
Avi still be sending
She
us
do not
stuff.
play.
Like every Monday or Tuesday, Avi will send me and Alex a text of like what we have to do for the week.
Yeah.
And half the time we still be forgetting.
She don't play.
She don't.
on top
But
of
every
it.
week, every Monday or Tuesday, we got that.
She knows everything that we're doing because, you know, at the end of the day, like we said, it's like your management is like you have a good circle. It's like people literally looking out for you. So it's like
Yeah.
even though Lotus them DJ and, you know, we're all trying to reach the same goal. Again, it takes nothing to look out for one another, and they've been on the scene, you know, veterans, they look out for us. And then Avi, of course, too, you know, she just looks out for us in the aspect, of course, you know, just exactly what a manager is supposed to do. She takes the bookings, gets the deposit, gets the contract signed.
Any endorsement she signs.
Any
with us.
endorsement
Shout out to Marley Fronto. Shout out to Soca and Champagne.
Yeah. So it's serious business going on this side, not no play thing.
Shout out to
But
Positivity
regarding management, including Avi, not any bad news. Not that we're splitting ties with her, but
we have something.
yeah, there's another big announcement that's gonna come towards the end of the year, and I think that one is gonna shock people a lot. But it's
been in the plans for a long time.
It's been in the plans for years.
I'll tell you when we get off here.
Yeah,
I'll
we'll
tell
get off
you
the
when
air.
we get off here.
That one is gonna shock a lot of people. It's just like, again, the same thing with like the One Drop relationship. It's like if we're all trying to work towards the same goals,
Stick
and
together,
people
man.
could literally see the amount of work we put in and we don't give up. Again, me and Brandon is only 27 now. I'm gonna be 28 in January. to be 27 years old and say I own a sound. Me and Brandon started something and we've been doing it for 13 years, bro. You don't have people our age group go say that.
That's
And
true.
I'm 20. Do the math of what I just said. I'm 27. This December, our sound turns 13 years old.
Right.
We've been working at this since we were literally teenagers. People worried about which video game they're gonna get. Me and Brandon saving up to buy DJ equipment and speakers and stuff just to go to house parties and
I
have our own
wanted
stuff.
2 XLR quarter.
Yeah, yeah. That's what we was doing. That's where our money was going.
Yeah, bro.
So yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, the longest interview I ever had.
Nah, man, yo, because
It's
you
all
know,
good,
you know
bro.
the thing is too, like we actually don't do interviews, and it's not because people don't ask us. It's just we're very cautious because I'm not gonna say who or when, but we've had some bad experiences in the past where people are trying to dig too much into our personal life, which we don't have problems opening up to. But certain things,
It's not.
you know what I
meant-
mean? I don't think it's meant for everyone to know.
Yeah,
Right? It's
bro.
not meant. Certain things
Yeah, like
are not
Some
meant.
people are wild. I don't like people like
certain
that.
things is like,
Like
you
very
know, certain
like-
things you live in Atlanta.
No
is
disrespect.
good, but-
No disrespect. Like I know a lot of people like certain vulgar interviews and stuff like that because it gets your ratings up and stuff like that. But me and Alex,
Not
if
into
you
that.
if anybody who's known Unique Sound since 2009, we have never been a gimmick sound. Everything that you see is from hard work. Period. We've never had a gimmick that made us blow up. Like, oh, we became a meme and we got bigger. You know, we did something stupid and somebody bashed us for it, and through that we got publicity. You know, no,
I guess
So-
the only gimmick we had was that
we're
we were
twins.
twins. We didn't do that on purpose.
When I saw one of you guys have shared, I think it was with Avi. I think it was like 2018, 2017,
Mhm.
one of them. And I saw you, Brandon, you had hair. I'm like, oh, y'all look alike at the time. I'm like,
I know. You've been around us before I even had the beard. So we're talking about way back in the day, baby face days.
That is crazy. Man,
Yeah, man.
anything you guys want to say before we look to get out of here? Shout out to
Shout out to all of our sponsors. Shout out to Soca and Champagne, like we said. Shout out to Carib Lingo. Big up Raul and the team every time. Keeping the boys fresh. We like, and big up to Demrock all the time too. You know, when it comes to me, and another thing that you asked me just to spin off of this question as we close into is when it comes to brands, I know lately, we wear brand name clothes and stuff here and there. Of course, we gotta look stylish when you stepping out the house. But Atlanta brands matter, and that's the only brands aside from our brand names that we matter. Big ups that we wear. So big up something else in the whole team too.
Yeah, bring up English then.
Yeah, big up
Yalis
English,
lifestyle.
lifestyle.
Yalis
We rocking
lifestyle.
all
Bring up
that.
everybody, man.
That's what I like about I'll impress him up and I'll try again on here. Big up to Proper English, Gallus Lifestyle,
Yeah,
Star,
man.
the rest of them.
Yeah,
I like.
yeah.
I'm gonna tell you something. What I like to see when two Jamaican DJs together, Kappa Ash and Proper English.
Yeah,
Oh,
man.
yeah,
Big up Ash every time. You know the vibes.
They got the dog, yo, novice. Bum.
That's my favorite Jamaican DJ and the veteran is Negus British.
Oh,
Yep,
yeah.
big up Uncle Negus.
Without question.
He is one of my favorite. When I hear his only one, my Bliss Lounge, I think it was when Ace did that
Party.
at Bliss Lounge.
Mhm.
When I heard his warm up, bro, I was like, yeah.
Nah, Negus is a
Negus
veteran
is-
DJ,
yeah.
man. Well seasoned. But big up to all of our sponsors, big up to everybody that supports us, like we said. Big up to everybody that, whether you book us, you heard us play, you listen to our mixtapes, any form of you supporting us, giving us a like, a share, whatever it may be, thank you guys all the time, because it reaches somewhere,
Everywhere reaches, man.
Yes,
And I
sir.
really appreciate you guys.
Nah, I appreciate you, bro.
Man.
And Alex left out the biggest one. Shout out to everybody on 94.7 The Link.
Yeah, you know the vibes,
Thanks
man.
for
Big up,
having
big up
us.
to
I
Atlanta
appreciate it.
Sporty Station. Big up our brother DJ Yowdy, Yowdy, love what you're doing,
It's
bro.
more to come, man.
Love what you
more
doing,
to
man.
come.
Yo, just link up for the next time. Alex can't play again. I play the next
Ah.
I go open it next Saturday in the box.
It's all about Halloween, though.
Yeah, man. Halloween, October 29th.
29th.
So if y'all are living in Atlanta, y'all gonna catch us outside again on one of our events. So if you've never been to a Unique Sounds event and you want to come experience it, our next one is coming up Halloween weekend. It's called Halloween. October 29th is going down at Grand Anse, aka the Escape Room, 6420 Old Hillendale Drive, Lithonia, Georgia. Doors open 10 p.m. to 4 a.m.
Everyone's $1
Yeah,
before
it's
pass.
$1 with the pass before midnight. So if you need to get your pass, go
Just
my
download
bio, Brandon's bio, or just make it simple. Go on your Instagram, type in Halloween ATL.
And that's
Exactly
it.
how it
Everything
sounds.
is there.
Halloween ATL, and it's in the bio, and yeah.
DOLLA.
So that's the next one. You know, we got who playing on that? Cuts, Unique, Def One, Super Tech, Uncle Super, big up yourself, big up
By
the
far, mega.
By far,
Of
mega, big up
course.
bro out of Brooklyn, New York
Shout out the
City.
dog, yo. Mega.
I listened to one of his mixes a couple days ago on SoundCloud, bro.
Mega bad.
Yeah, Mega is. Shout out to Mega.
Big up
Again,
Cruiser, big up
yeah.
Selector B, big up the whole By Far army, man. You know,
Yeah,
you know,
man.
that's the team.
Big up Messi and everybody in New York putting in work, man.
No,
It's
more-
time
more-
is the new generation is taking
Yeah,
over, and
man.
I love
More-
to see
more
it. I
time
love
here,
to see.
Brandon.
We love to see the elders embracing them as well.
People
Great
don't-
thing.
And you know what's so crazy? I was listening to By Far Mega, mix a couple days ago, and then I saw you guys launch the flyer. And I'm like,
Yo,
Yep.
because you know the thing is as I
Well,
always
by
tell
far-
you, it's all about networking. You know,
Yeah,
a lot of people like when they see certain things like that, they're always like, "How?" And I'm
Yeah.
like, "Exactly," because
And-
it's always we're always working.
And that's the thing, like, people don't know, again, people don't see a lot of what goes on behind the scenes. Like, I'll blatantly say this. All of the big Caribbean DJs that you could probably name, we talk to them. They talk to us. We know each other. We do business. They played for us. We played for them, whatever the case may be. You know, but we get along with everybody.
Yeah, everybody.
Like I said, I mean, me and Brandon is not the type to like really turn face to people or anything. You know, if we have a disagreement with somebody, I just leave it alone.
yeah.
Like what is that? I don't have
Yeah.
time for that.
That's it. Positivity.
Where,
man.
what's the platforms? What's the platform before we had it? You any?
Instagram at DJ AAA USPD, Brandon at DJ Tricks USPD, Unique Sounds USPD. So that's all. Navi, the remixer.
Oh
Who
God,
else?
just tell them the right one. Just follow Unique Sounds USPD.
Nah, but it's everything. I just told them all the handles.
That's Unique Sounds with a Z. So Unique Sounds, not an S at the end, with a Z. USPD.
And people
Go to
always
that
ask
page,
us
you'll
what that
find
USPD
everything.
stands for. It stands for Unique Sounds Promo Division.
That's it.
That's what it literally
Vo-
stands for.
Shout out to Vorsitas Tom Thursday.
Yeah, man. Big up to
Twitch.
everybody following us on Twitch. I'm gonna bring back the radio shows this week. I might actually do one tomorrow because I used to do one called Landmark Sundays where I play a lot of oldies as you're growing up, cooking in your house on a Sunday, making little greens for your family and things like that. I play some old school music. So shout out to everybody on Twitch too. Once again, Yowdy, thank you for having us.
Man,
Bro.
Yes, sir.
Pleasure.
94.7 The Link, Yowdy Hour.
Anytime. And I appreciate you guys really coming on here.
Always
It's a
fam.
big opportunity, man.
Anytime, bro. I appreciate you for having
All
us.
the time. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in. Shout out to every we have a person. We got 2 people from Jamaica that's tuning in. Big up to everybody from overseas tuning in, man. Y'all big. But anyway, this is the Yowdy Hour. DJ Yowdy 94.7 Link, Unique Sounds. We are out.
Yes.
Out.
Oh
Man,
man.
that was a
thank you for
man.
having us,
Dog, that's it.
I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you for having us.
Man.
Anything. I like this platform. I like that everybody could get us out the house, but you different.
Yes, you would have.
Anytime, especially when like you guys call us like the